There's always two, the master and apprentice. This is the story of Elisha and Elijah, prophets.
All day, the news was buzzing all over the land. All of the sons of the prophets had knew of his plan. My master, Elijah, would be taking his day. How could I live without his wisdom and the words he would say? I gazed deep into his eyes like the child that I was. Behold the aura of his presence, the virtue of his essence. To God be the blessings. I followed like sheep. Today's the day that the apprentice transcends to the seat of master. Be a pastor, a shepherd of sheep. We on this long dusty road, never saying a peep until we reach the river Jordan. My master, Elijah, removed his overcoat and smoked the waters right beside us. The water started bubbling to solid from fluid. They poured it down the middle. He and I that poured it through it. It wasn't new. It's nothing I had seen it before. Besides raising up the dead, healing, beating the poor. We crossed over to the other side and he said to me,
Whatever you ask for, let your eye give it to me.
I thought deeply for a moment, maybe wisdom, strength, or honor. Nah, just leave a double portion your spirit here, Cora. Prophet full of rage, the brain held fire and horror. To the wicked that despise the Father and all his honor, you apply.
All I see you ask a whole thing. Nevertheless, you see me, then it's your thing. It's still coming. Stuck on earth, massive universe that chills something. I'm black, it's still coming. Stuck on earth, massive universe that chills something. I'm black, it's still coming. Stuck on earth, massive universe that chills something. I got the deal, type of skills you can't steal from me. And from the cradle to the grave, I keep it clear on me.
Reminisced about the old days, times in the past, the master and his old apprentice. We had a good laugh, but then the sky drew back like a scroll fire and folds. My heart stops and I drop as my flesh turns cold. It was the horse and carriages, chariots, various characters fought at these in serious times, errors and areas. My mind froze like it was exposed to the cold. I got short of breath watching as the chariots float. I seen a bright light like a whirlwind from the depths of the ship. Just then it lied and started shaking like epileptics with fit. His robe and his staff will fell to the ground. He was ascending into heaven transparently now. A base in the way of a man I had loved so much was being hoisted into heaven. What adrenaline rush. And just as quick as they appeared, they was gone. The electricity was still in the air, along with the smell of brimstone. The sand from under his feet was just on. I love him just like Kimbo. Shut up his robe and staff his man on time for me to get go. I didn't smoke the waters and they poured it to reveal the ground. I walked across the Jordan River. The prophets came hither and one said the spirit of his master is upon him upon the ground. Then walked the trail of rosebuds was forming. The apprentice transformed. Now a prophet he's called, whose name will live on forever in biblical scrolls. Indeed, time to tell a story, many follow my lead, and God's name was glorified. But my works and my deeds until the pearly gates are churlish fates. I'ma bring it to a world I hate. The burden's weighs heavy on my shoulders, but I'ma carry it now until the brimstone and fire and furious cloud. I'm out of stand worse than hellhounds, devious ride. But I'm a prophet of the highs, and I cry so loud. Follow me!
It's still coming. Stuck on earth, massive universe that chills something. I'm black, it's still coming. Stuck on earth, massive universe that chills something. I'm black, it's still coming. Stuck on earth, massive universe that chills something. I got the beat and top of skills you can't steal from me. And from the cradle to the grave, I keep it clear on me. I'm black, it's still coming. Stuck on earth, massive universe that chills something. I'm black, it's still coming. Stuck on earth, massive universe that chills something. I'm black, it's still coming. Stuck on earth, massive universe that chills something. I got the beat and top of skills you can't steal from me. And from the cradle to the grave, I keep it clear on me.
Now it's time to make amends. What we're saying now is this. It was necessary, but it wasn't sufficient. We got to drop more. We got to do more. Because that's only the plan. And black people, unfortunately, do not read.
1974 to keep it basic. Same year my pops bounced rockets, skated and Jake got plugged in the Matrix. Wasn't tripping though, he didn't fit the role. Couldn't stop a glow or stop the show. So now it's time to grow. Mama knows best. Pops had 3 seeds. It feels like I'm the last one left. Wasn't stressed, asthmatic, losing breath. Little seed growing up in the wild, wild west, and that's a tough task. Niggas ride mass, break you down, size you up. Get fitted for a cast, learn the rules fast. Nigga, don't hesitate. You in the land of heavyweights, a strong mind state wouldn't let me be fake. Live by the motto, whatever it takes, and not for real though. Might catch me at nights, steel toes. Living these curses is vexing. Some wonder how I do it. I use Christ as a weapon. I ain't stressing. Smite scorer on the sidelines heckling. Little hyenas, I'm trying to play right, but still mix it up with the cheaters. Still put it down for my faithful believers, even for the thugs and divas.
Yo, I feel beautiful, so I spit beautiful. It's about to get critical for those that hide behind the physical, medicinal, lyrical. My spiritual intuition on how to maintain true position, through vision. Pay attention and listen to the words of a true physician. Even the dead get arisen in the operation of a Christian.
Shalom, 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 peace. Welcome to another episode. DSTM, Don't Shoot the Messenger. This is episode number 234. And it's not really just about DSTM. This is a pre-recording. The time you guys are listening to this, we'll be into our 7th month, which is the memorial blowing of trumpets. High holy day for the children of Israel to assemble and to gather themselves together. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh Shah. This is your brother IQAhmath, IQAhmath, first name, IQ, it's all the same. We won't have a live class because we'll be fellowshipping with our young brothers over there at Believers of the Way, BOW. So check out the live class with them if you haven't subscribed to their channel, Believers of the Way. Go over there, subscribe to them brothers' channel, support the work. We'll be fellowshipping in unison with our brethren over there this evening. So that's what it is. But I definitely still want to leave brothers and sisters a nice little gem to eat if you're watching the MOTC channel. And it's all good. Let me go ahead on and give me 1 second, y'all. Look like my computer is getting a little bit low on power. So let me add this on and get to it. All right, there we go. All praises, man. Hopefully everybody's doing well, man. If you're keeping the calendar with us, happy memorial blowing the trumpets. All right. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, man. Hopefully everybody's keeping it holy and keeping it in commemoration of our feast days and our holy days. Let me go ahead and shut that banner down. So now we're going. All right, so let me just preface this just a little bit. I want to give a few scriptures in regards to blowing the trumpets. Not going to give a whole lesson. We have done that before, but I'm gonna just give a few just to keep it in the spirit, and then we'll look at a few of these current events because ironically, it's still time to blow the trumpet. DSTM is all about blowing the trumpet. Your brother IQAhmath, IQAhmath, first name, IQ is all the same. Is always trying to blow the trumpet to alert our people and let it be known what's going on in the earth, what's happening within the realms of our reality, or is it reality? You know what I'm saying? When we're looking at what's going on, it's just ridiculous. Some of the stuff just can't be real. Twilight Zone type stuff. We say it all the time, but it's real though. All right. Let me go ahead on and share my screen, man, and we'll get to it. Let's look at. I want to start off, as we said, moving in the spirit of trumpets and understanding and acknowledging what the effectiveness of the trumpet was. It was to alert the people, assemble the people, to blow certain tones and commands for the armies of Israel to align themselves in their set orders. When it was time to come and worship the Father in spirit and in truth, the trumpet was being used. So in the spirit of DSTM, let's look at Ezekiel 33. It says again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set them for their watchmen, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. You see that? The trumpet's being blown verbally, spiritually. The Most High is warning the people. Everything that we've been chronicling and showing and sharing, don't shoot the messenger, through your own research and observations and understandings that you're receiving through revelation of the spirit, the trumpet is being blown. You know, there's events that take place in the last days and the latter times that lead up to um, the final confrontation, Armageddon, which leads up to the final world war, which leads up to mass death and hysteria, which leads up to ultimately Yahweh Shai, our King, returning back to redeem his children, the elect, those who have stayed dedicated, not only in word but in deed, to be receiving the kingdom of heaven. There's seven trumpets that get blown in Revelation 8, 9. You got seals that need to be broken in Revelation 6. You know, so the Most High is constantly utilizing the trumpet as an indicator for us to be aware. So the scripture let us know when there's a sword, a destruction that's to come upon the land, a harm that's to come to the people, an enemy that may be coming to the people. There's always been watchmen that were to blow the trumpets to warn the people, forewarn our people. As much as our people ignorantly want to walk around with their thumbs in their mouth and knuckle dragging themselves around like ignorant men and women, you know, the Most High said, you still got to warn them. You still got to get on top of the roofs, cry to the heavens, and try to alert those who are willing to break up out of their slumbers. Verse 4, it says, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him, but he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. That's what it's about. We're in the business of saving souls. So the Most High said, you know, even in Revelation 22, it says, if a man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. And if he be righteous still, let him be righteous still. Paraphrasing, you know, you put the word out. If you take heed, you found it as sound, then you should be taking necessary actions to prepare for the incoming sword. Get on a defensive posture, spiritually get into your closet, and prepare for what's coming ahead. And the Most High said, as watchmen, man, we put out the word. Blood's off our hands at that point, right? The individual is going to die in their own iniquity, sin, and ignorance if they don't take heed. Verse 6. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. So the scriptures say, man, if you see and can foresee evils and sword and destruction and famine and plague and flood and whatever, and you don't warn the people and let it be known, hey, this is from the Lord. Hey, an enemy's coming. They're plotting against us. Yes, you have enemies. Everybody don't love you, Negroes. Everybody don't love you, Hispanics, Native Americans. If it's not aware to you by now, then we're going to have to really do some real soul searching and lobotomies on some of you people, because you just won't realize and understand, man. Everybody ain't on our team. Everybody ain't. We're so embracing and want the nation to be a part of us, man. We want to share culture. We want to share our culture with them. You know, we letting white boys run around. They calling themselves niggas now. You know, they want to dress like they and you know. I seen some damn. Looking like some prom queen looking Edomite female, man, prom dress on and the whole night. And she's rapping the most gangsterous Chicago drill rapping Negro music that I've ever heard. Word for word. I don't even know if it was Chicago. I think it was some Jake from Atlanta. I mean, this is a video I seen. Some of y'all may have seen and know what I'm talking about. I mean, they out here emulating us like no other. But the Most High said, man, these are your enemies, man. Quit trying to assimilate, hold hands, and make pathways for them and give them passes, and begging them for acceptance. I mean, we stand on our own, and that's self-evident because of the fact that they envy us, they're jealous of us, they have a hatred for us because of who we are. They put out every type of slander, lie, cover up history, iconoclasm, the whole nine, man. They keep us from understanding and knowing who we are, hell bent on it, And we sit back and have Stockholm syndrome to the max and thank them for everything that they've done for us, man. But we have to be warned. If the watchmen see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. See that? So that's the job, man. We're blowing a trumpet in like fashion. 7th month. This is also known as the Feast of Ingathering. It's also known as the civil year of when we blow the trumpet. This is the time when matters of civility get handled. When we're talking about matters of issues of debt and land and things of that nature, when when we have those things in our possessions, those are the things that the Most High said that it's the civil time to handle those business matters. Okay. Numbers 10. We'll start at 1. We'll read down. And the Most High said, and the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, make 2 trumpets of silver, of a whole piece shalt thou make them, that thou mayest use them for the calling of the assembly and for the journeying of the camps. So the scriptures is letting us know that the trumpets would allow us and let us know when it's time to make journey, when it's time to flee, when it's time to move, when it's time to reassemble, relocate, so forth and so on. Trumpets were being used to alert everybody. It wasn't like we was doing private little interpretation, talking to each other, talking about, I'm gonna make this move over here, I'm gonna go do that. When we're assembled as a nation and as a whole entire camp, the Most High said, well, listen, when the Levites blow the trumpet, that's when everybody moves. We don't move on our own accord. It says for the calling of the assembly. So when the trumpets get blown, that is a symbolization of us calling for the nation to assemble. When we come together, right? It says, and when they shall blow with them, all the assembly shall assemble themselves to thee at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. So we assemble. Why? So that we can now worship and observe the holy days of the Most High, so that we can receive instruction from the priests, so that we can receive instruction from the watchmen, from the prophets, from the teachers in today's terms now. You understand? Continuing on, it says, and if they blow but with one trumpet, then the princes, which are the heads of the thousands of Israel, shall gather themselves unto thee. When you, excuse me, when you blow an alarm, then the camps that lie on the east parts shall go forward. When ye blow an alarm the second time, then the camps that lie on the south side shall take their journey. They shall blow an alarm for their journeys. See that? Everything done decently and in order. Mob rule did not happen in the land of Israel. When we were marching and we were moving, it was militant. Everybody knew what the job was. You hear the trumpet, one trumpet gets blown, the heads of the households, the heads of the thousands, the princes and the leaders, they would gather themselves together in the camps on the east. They knew it was for that time for them to move. If you was on the south, north, or the west, you did not move. You waited your turn. Second alarm gets blown, then the south side would take their journey. See, the Most High has always been about order, structure, discipline. As many as I love my brothers and sisters out there, man, of Israel, but the ones who are stout about anti-camp this, I ain't with them camps, the camps. Well, what are we reading right here? When ye blow an alarm, then the camps, plural. Hello? What are we looking up here? The journeying of the camps. I mean, what type of spirit is on individuals, man? Or what they call them, individualites? What type of spirit is on them, man, that just constantly just wants to bash those who desire and have the zeal or have the understanding that this is what the Most High said and how we should operate as a church, congregation, camp, whatever you calling your assembly. The Most High said that's what we're supposed to do. And if you got an individual out there talking about, well, we ain't supposed to do that, man. Forget that the camps be doing this. The camps is a cult. The camp. Sometimes it is like that. But that doesn't mean that it's not a scriptural principle. Most High tell you, man, try the spirits by the spirits, whether they be the Most High or not. The Most High tells you, cursed be the man that trusts a man to make a flesh his arm. He gives us fair warning. He gives us a filter to determine where you should be assembling at. No, see, I was want to get the camps, man. The camps, they all can't see eye to eye. The camp, hey, the scripture said when Yahweh Shah returns, we'll see eye to eye in Isaiah 52:8. So until then, man, if we're not seeing eye to eye, man, it's about just doing the work. Get the lost sheep. Be sincere. Move in the spirit that the Most High has been blessing us all with, which is knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and do the right thing. You know, scripture say, man, you don't know what to do what you know. And I'm not talking to the brothers and sisters out there, man, who are living in cities and counties where, you know, there's just no assembly there. There's no camps that you know, are interested in joining in or whatever the case. I'm not talking about y'all. Y'all know. You assemble in the spirit, you with us online, it's all good. I'm talking about the ones who are avidly anti, you know, dedicate themselves, making videos and, you know, doing all they can to discourage anybody that's affiliating themselves with a quote unquote camp. But we see it in the scriptures. The scriptures talk about camps. All right. It's an assembly of families, brothers and sisters, fellow believers, man. All right. Continue on to verse 5. It says, when you blow an alarm, then the camps that lie on the east part shall go forward. When you blow an alarm the second time, then the camps that lie on the south side shall take their journey. They shall blow an alarm for their journeys. But when the congregation is to be gathered together, so that means that there's been separate camps, but there's a time when all of the congregations is to come together. When all the camps are to come together, ye shall blow, but ye shall not sound an alarm. And the sons of Aaron, the priests, shall blow with the trumpets, and they shall be to you for an ordinance forever throughout your generations. And if you go to war on your land against the enemy that oppresses you, then ye shall blow an alarm with the trumpets, and ye shall be remembered before Yahweh your power, and ye shall be saved from your enemies. So, you know, there's going to be race wars here in America. There's going to be uprisings here in America. There's going to be civil wars going on here in America. And the Most High said, man, you're going to go to war with your enemies. I mean, the scriptures tell us the saints going to take the kingdom. How are we going to do that? Negotiation plots and pleads, contracts being written up, peace treaties being established? No, you don't take it by negotiation. So when the trumpet gets blown, the Most High said that the Most High will remember us, and we're going to be saved from our enemies. You wonder how the children of Israel, man, how does the average, you know, Joe Schmo, Negro, and Hispanic man that you know can barely remember what he ate last night? How's he going to remember who he is now? It's going to be through the Spirit of the Lord, man, through the works of the prophets that's going out there teaching, allowing the Holy, the Comforter and the Spirit of the Holy Comforter, the Holy Spirit, come back and bringing all things back to our remembrance, so that the children of Israel will be back a great and exceeding army, as it's expressed in Ezekiel the 37th chapter in the Valley of the Dry Bones. And the Most High is going to remember us when the alarm is sounded and the camps are gathered together. The Most High said, we'll be saved from our enemies. Verse 10. And in the day of your gladness and in your solemn days and in the beginnings of your months, so, you know, a trumpet should be blown every new moon to acknowledge the beginning of a new month, to acknowledge for the children of Israel when we're supposed to be assessing our feast, you know, calendars or whatnot, you know. So the beginning of our month, you shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings, that they may be to you for a memorial before your power. I am Yahweh, your power. So we see historically what was going on with the trumpet, right? And through the law, why it's an ordinance, why it's a commandment. Why aren't they teaching this in the churches? You know, it says forever. I don't get where they're talking about is done away with. Isaiah 58:1, the classic one. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. So we don't have the massive ounces of silver that it would take to pound out and make the trumpets as instructed in Numbers 10. You know, the Levitical priesthood is in shambles, was in shambles. The Most High said that he, in Hosea 4:6, when he said, thou shalt be no priest to me. We've been destroyed for lack of knowledge. The Most High said, you don't necessarily need to go out and maintain the ordinances of certain aspects of the trumpets. But the main thing in the spirit, we do know that we do blow the trumpets at the beginning of our months. But as far as the assembling of the armies and marching from the east camp and the south camp, we're not at that point yet. When we reassemble, we'll be back to that in the kingdom, right? And now we're learning those principles, man. But now we have a trumpet that's coming from our vocal cords, the mouth, lifting up our voices like trumpets. Why? Because we need to assemble the people. We need to cry aloud to awaken the people. We got to cry aloud to acknowledge to the people, hey, come to the doors of the congregation so that you can come worship the Father in spirit and in truth, so that you can repent and learn the righteous ways of our Father. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet and show my people their transgressions. Oh, but the average Negro, man, is running around here crying about, you can't judge me. Who are you to judge me? Only God can judge me. Excuse me. The scriptures say that we're supposed to show our people where they're going wrong at, where they are committing sins against the Most High. Is that judgment or is that a warning? Judgment means that you've actually had something happen to you. The sodomite is twitching up and down the street, man, and the brother says, hey, brother, you need to straighten up your walk, get that effeminate spirit up off of you. Here, let me show you why, for whatever reason you believe that how you're moving in life is okay. Let me show you where God said it is not. Is he being judged? No, he's being reproved. He's being corrected. The judgment is if a man's lying with man like he should be with a woman, he should be put to death. So there is no judgment there. But that's the sensitivity of the Christians, man. And even still, in Romans, I believe it's in the 7th chapter, Most High said, he that is spiritual judgeth all things. So yeah, we can still judge in the spirit because the law is spiritual. Again, in Romans, I think it's 7:14. So there's still two ways to even go about that aspect of judging. But in this context, we're just looking at it saying, look, the Most High said, you better go and tell our people where they're going wrong at with me. According to 1 John 3 and 4, it says sin is transgression of the law. So we have to show our people where they are sinning, which means that the laws are still in effect, and let them know where they're going wrong against God, right? Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. The Most High said he's concerned with the house of Jacob. The house of Jacob is who he wants to wake up, okay? Our people, Blacks, Native Americans, Hispanics, man, it's time for us to wake up. Let's look at Isaiah 49. Verse 1, it says, listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken, ye people from far. The Lord hath called me from the womb. From the bowels of my mother hath he made mention of my name. He hath made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hands hath he hid me, and made me a polished shaft, and his quiver hath he hid me. So this is how the Most High, assembled and had Isaiah moving and acknowledging how sharp the mouth can be. So not only is our mouths being used as trumpets, but it said his mouth was made like a sharp sword. Hebrews 4 and 12 tells us that the word of the Most High is quick and sharper than any two-edged sword. When we speak the words of the Most High, this is how it's so crazy. We go out there on the streets, man, and we do nothing but read, quote the Bible, break things down, and we're holding Bibles in our hands. How emotional and how distraught do the people get? We get everything being called everything but a child of God by people out there on the streets. We get the finger, we get wild up, But what is it? Oh, it's just the word. The word is what cuts them. The word is what, agitates and pokes and prods them. They don't like that. Hey, but all we got is the Bible. But it feels like we got, machetes and battle axes out there chopping at their legs, necks, and arms and tongues. See? But the Most High fashions us just like we seen in Numbers 10, where the Most High said, we take the silver, you pound it out, you make two trumpets. Look how he made in the spirit, looking at Isaiah, he said, the Most High made his mouth like a sharp sword, and the shadow of his hand he hid me and made me a polished shaft. So we're getting molded. We're getting molded into powerful verbal weapons in the truth. I mean, in the spirit. See, and that's how the Most High wants us to be fashioned. Why? So that we can alert and call to our people to come wake up. Jeremiah 6. Let's look at this. And verse 16, 17, it says, thus saith Yahweh, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way? And walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. That's the hard-headed, stiff-necked nation of our nature of our people. But the Most High said that we have to stand in the way, seek the old paths, find out where the good way is. The good way hasn't been Islam. The good way hasn't been Afrocentricity. The good way hasn't been Kemet. The good way hasn't been Christianity and good old time religion and whatever denomination you want to pick. The good way hasn't been atheism. All those things have been here. And our people are still suffering. Our people are still at the bottom of the totem pole. Our people are still being oppressed, harassed, murdered, and killed in the streets. Our people are still being taken advantage of because of our ignorance. We've got access to all of those things. None has helped. That's not the good way. The good way is actually learning about who you are according to the word of the Lord, live, learning, and applying the law, statutes, and commandments in our lives, and repenting. That's the good way. And the Most High said, once you understand that, walk therein. This is why Yahweh Shai even said in Matthew. Let's get that real quick. He said, once we find that path, we got to walk therein. Look at this. Matthew 7:13 and 14. It says, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. That's because they're not going the good way. The old path. There's a wide gate that everybody's trying to, massively go through. They just had some, I don't know what it was, a concert, something about the Burning Man. I don't know what it is. Some obviously some Hollywood Edomite foolishness, man, that goes on. Some big old rave. I mean, and if anybody's seen that, it ended up getting, I think the rains and it flooded it out, and people was getting stranded. I seen some video about, or it was a story about Chris Rock and some other Edomite actor had got stuck out there and ended up hitching a ride with somebody in the back of their truck. If you've seen the actual traffic jam and these people leaving up out of the desert, it was unreal. Matter of fact, the Jews require a sign. It's a festival. See this? This was everybody. Burning Man mass exodus begins after flooding trapped desert revelers. So this is why the Most High said, man, the revelings and all of that other stuff, man, 1 Corinthians 6:9, revelers are not going to see the kingdom of heaven. This is what the wide gate is. They're all running out there. See, I got too many open. So I was getting ready to get that in 1 Corinthians. We'll go there next. Look at the traffic jam of all these people, man, driving out into the desert to go to some damn festival, and then the Most High hit them with the water, man, and flooded them out, and they had to all flee. And ain't nothing good going on there but drunkenness, drugs, sex, folly, out in the middle of damn nowhere. See? These are people that was going out there. And I guess it's some damn festival or concert going out there, man. I mean, this is, see this? Burning Man goers told shelter in place due to heavy rain. It's nothing but cars, all here for some damn festival and concert in the middle of the damn desert. Jake is out there too. But that's going to lead everybody to destruction. That's what the Most High is saying. You don't go where everybody's going, man. It's because there's a bunch of people over here. That don't mean that the Lord is there. That don't mean that that's the right way to go. It says, many there be which go thereat. Verse 14, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. That's powerful. So there's only a few that's going to see the right path and is going to find their way. And we seen we seen in Jeremiah what to do. See that? 1 Corinthians 6:9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of the Most High. You're not gonna make it, man. Not gonna make it. See, a reviler. It says that a railer, a reviler, but what's the one thing? Oh, mischief, lordios, abusive, a blackguard, a railer, a reviler, somebody who's abusive, and these people over here, man. I think it's safe to say, I'm sure they're over there abusing drugs. I'm sure they're over there abusing themselves with mankind. I'm sure they're caught up in mischief. You understand? But nonetheless, that's what we see. So the Most High said, you got to find the good way, walk therein. That's that straight and narrow path, and you shall find rest for your souls. But there's going to be plenty of people going to say, we're not walking therein. Why? Because they'd rather go the wide gate. Verse 17, it says, also I said, watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said, we will not hearken. You get brothers out there, man, blowing they vocal cords out, blowing to their heart's content, man, blowing the sweet songs of the scriptures, teachings, reproofs, comforts. Brothers are all brothers out there, man, doing the work, doing it in a well-rounded fashion, man, sounding like, Dizzy Gillespie, Branford Marsalis, all these cats, man, George Duke. Not no damn Kenny G. Don't even think about it. All right. Sounding like the best of the best, man. And our people still say, that's noise, man. I don't want to hear that. Leave me alone. And that's what the Most High is going to judge them accordingly. Most High will judge them accordingly. But guess what? You did your job. We did our job. Blew that trumpet, man. Let's read Jeremiah 35:15. It says, I have sent also unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising up early and sending them, saying, return ye now every man from his evil way, and amend your doings, and go not after other gods to serve them. And ye shall dwell in the land which I have given to you and to your fathers, but ye have not inclined your ear, nor hearkened unto me. Do you see the symbolization of that? Because why every time that we keep hearing about the trumpet being blown, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, show my people their transgressions. Oh, lift up your voice like a hearken to the trumpet. Tell our people, seek the old paths. Where's the good, the right way? Return every man from his evil. Why is that symbolic? And why is that happening in the spirit? Why do we keep the blowing of trumpets in the 7th month? Because what comes after trumpets 10 days later at even will be atoning. You understand? That's how the Most High lined it up in the spirit. The trumpet is being blown first to assemble the people, to acknowledge and tell everybody. The Most High sent his servants, the prophets, rising up early and sending them. The prophets are saying, return ye now every man from his evil way and amend your doings, atone for your doings. Don't go after the other gods and serve them. Ye shall dwell in the land which I have given to you and to your fathers, but ye have not inclined your ear, nor hearken unto me. So we see the hard-headed, stiff-necked nature of our people, man, but the Most High told us. Trumpet's got to be blown so that we can come and atone. Okay? Let me get one more. Second Ezra 1. Let's read 5 and 6. It says, "Go thy way and show my people their sinful deeds." Do you see that? So when a trumpet is blown, man, it's not just to make, so it sounds good and all of that. It's not for entertainment. When you're watching your favorite street teachings and all that other, don't watch it for entertainment, man. You should be taking notes, sharpening your sword, being encouraged, sharing, or classes that you watch, brothers are teaching. Share them, do your part, man. Blow your trumpet the best you can. Because the Most High is telling our people, man, go thy way, show my people their sinful deeds and their children their wickedness, which they have done against me, that they may tell their children's children. So this is what we're supposed to be teaching our people, not all this LGBTQ plus curriculum that goes on in the schools right now. Not teaching our kids how to be the next line of divas and harlots. Not to be teaching our sons to be the next gangsters and drug dealers and dope fiends. That ain't what we're supposed to be teaching our children, man. But that's the evidence is pretty clear. Our people is out there steadily feeding our children whole heaping spoonfuls of evil and wickedness and ignorance. Verse 6, because the sins of their fathers are increased in them, for they have forgotten me and have offered unto strange gods. See, we got to remind our people about our Father who art in heaven. Hallowed be his name, thy name. You dig what I'm saying? So, that's what the Most High is calling us for, because, at the end all be all, we know what the scriptures let us know. When we blow that trumpet, the Most High said in Numbers 10, we read it, it says to assemble the people. So the objective still is to gather the children of Israel together, man. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation I desire, before the decree bring forth, before the day passes the shaft, before the fierce anger of Yahweh come upon you, before the day of Yahweh's anger come upon you. So there's no question that the Most High is angry. The Most High said that he's got a controversy with the inhabitants of the land in Hosea 4:1. You understand what I'm saying? So when we're seeing all of these judgments happening throughout the earth, when we're seeing all of the death, the mayhem, the cursings that's going on, that's from the Lord. And those who know and understand and can accept that that is how God operates will be better off than the ones who are sitting back in their ignorant stupor trying to figure out why, or better yet, don't even care. Verse 3 says, seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of Yahweh's anger. So this is why we're blowing our trumpet, man. Let's get to some of these current events. And, this is part of it. So that when I'm blowing the trumpet, I'm showing and sharing and doing all, hey, man, the fierce anger of the Lord is rolling throughout the earth. And it's not even that. It's not even nowhere near its peak, man. At this point in time, they're still saying things are good, here in America. When DC is damn near collapsed, New York, damn near. I just showed the video of the mayor last week when he was talking about, man, because of the so-called migrant crisis. He said, man, New York is about to collapse. They're getting 10,000 a day. Economic infrastructure can't hold it. Housing can't hold it. Food, they ain't got it. Crime up. I mean, DC, they talking about how crime is completely exploded out of control. LA, crime out of control. I mean, what did it say in I think Mexico, they're the top 15 deadliest cities in the world. Mexico had like 9 of them. Most deadliest cities in America, 2 of them in Louisiana, Memphis. The number 1 is in Alabama, some small spot in Alabama. I mean, these are all places, man, that the Most High is saying, listen, this place is about to collapse and crumble, man. The Americas is pretty much a wrap. We got to get it together. All right. So let's look at this. Kim Jong-un pledges his full support to Putin after his meeting in Russia. So there we have, before let's play this. Hold on.
After wrapping up a meeting this morning, Russia has some major support.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is offering Russian President Vladimir Putin his country's full and unconditional support. In the meeting, Putin discussed humanitarian.
Now, listen to what he said. Moab, this is the first time, China hasn't even came out and just openly just said, we're giving our full support to Russia. China's still trying to play defensive diplomacy, but we seen last week too, the president Xi Jinping, he didn't show up to that G20 summit. They said basically he's giving up on world order. He's ready to just start smashing and doing his own thing with the helps of the BRICS nations and Russia. So that also was an indicator letting it be known that the tide is changing geopolitically with this war. The nations now are all coming out openly saying, man, to hell with America, to hell with NATO. We're going to align ourselves up with what we consider our next move to be a superpower, to be an opposition to America. See this? His country's full unconditional support. Remember about a year and a half ago, man, anybody that was supporting Russia in this war, man, was considered a warmonger and a Putin sympathizer and all this other stuff, right? Well, Moab in North Korea, man, he said, I don't give a damn. They got our full unconditional support. And this is a nuclear power, mind you. And you know how he loves to shoot off his rockets and do tests every damn week. Last weekend, they said that they was going to give them, North Korea was going to give Russia, I forgot what it was, some sort of, military equipment and weaponry in exchange for Russia sharing the knowledge about nuclear subs. So clearly, Russia said fair exchange. Let's link and do it. Because now Moab done came back and said, well, we down with the Russians 100%. We don't give a damn when, good, bad, or indifferent, man, we riding with them. So North Korea is an open enemy in opposition to America. So keep that in mind.
And unconditional support. In the meeting, Putin discussed humanitarian issues, economic cooperation, and the situation in the region, as he referred. Kim Jong-un also mentioned his support for what he's calling Russia's sacred fight to defend their security interest. He's referencing the war in Ukraine.
So you see, he's clearly in support of the war in Russia and Ukraine. They ain't hiding it. They ain't hiding their affiliations. They ain't hiding about who they're rolling with. Okay? At all. Where's my scripts at? I put Moab 60. Good Lord. Get it together, man. Let's look at this. Classic verse, man. Moab, again, Psalm 60 and 8. Moab is my washpot. Over Edom will I cast out my shoe. Philistia, triumph thou because of me. Now, let me just look at this real quick with y'all. The Most High says Moab is the washpot, right? What's washpot mean? And this is interesting. It means literally a pot, a thorn, or a hook. So you wonder why, and you see Moab constantly being in the midst of everything that goes on. When it comes down to war, when it comes down to these plagues, when it comes down to economies, things of that nature, man. Moab is a damn thorn, especially for Jake too, man. When you go into these damn swap meets, Chinese food places, hair salons, nail shops. The Most High said, man, Moab is my washpot. I mean, Moab is going to be a thorn too in Jake's side. Following you around in the store. Hurry up and buy. You buy, you go. Hurry up. See, That whole mentality. They play the background. They hire a couple Jakes, man, to work the cash registers while they in the back looking through double glass, windows, watching your every move on camera. That's being a damn thorn. Coming into our communities, man, buying up every damn thing, selling it back to you. Man, you got to wonder, man, how's a damn Moabite man coming from South Korea and North Korea and China coming over here from the east to the west, and they know everything that you Negroes and Hispanics want. From your hair to your nails, to your clothes, to your music choices, to your jewelry. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, what the hell does a damn Moabite from South Korea know about Louisiana fried chicken? And for you brothers and sisters that's in LA, man, you know what I'm talking about. Every Louisiana fried chicken that they got, Moab done bought them out. They own them and they co-opted it into a half Chinese food, half fried chicken. How the hell do they know about what you Negroes like all the way in Louisiana? Coming from Seoul, Korea. Because they study you. You go to the liquor stores, but I've been in different neighborhoods, liquor stores. I know where I'm at. They got the red rags in certain neighborhoods, blue rags up in some, black, green. They know what they doing, man. Stacking up on all the damn cigarettes and Black and Miles for Jason, constantly jack themselves up with, selling you the vape pens, giving you every damn bit of poisonous liquor you want. If they ain't doing it, Ishmael's got it. But Moab being a thorn is part of the wash pot, man. Look, Moab is going to what? Meaning the primitive root, meaning to boil up. Things are going to simmer up. Things are going to get hot because of Moab. Moab is going to be the ones who are always stirring up the pot, turning up the heat. This is why you see Kim Jong-un talking about, man, and you got my unwavering support for Russia and Ukraine. I'm standing with you in unison, in lockstep. This is why you see Xi Jinping talking about he thinks he's going to be up next to be the next world power, wanting to be the envy of Babylon, lining himself up with Russia, lining himself up with Iran, Saudi Arabia, India. See, they're going to constantly be in the mix. From the economy to imports, exports, sanctions, war, they're always there. They're going to be boiling up the pot, right? But it says they're also going to be a hook. Well, where have we seen that before? Ezekiel 38:4. It says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them, clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company of the bucklers and shields, all of them having swords. The Most High, yes, he's going to put hooks in the jaws of Russia, control them, bring them back. But we see here, Moab is going to be a hook too. Moab is being used as a hook, pulling and supporting this war, keeping Russia involved in this war, showing their full support. You understand what I'm saying? So this is where we see Moab's role. You wondering where and why? It's important to watch what the Chinese man and the Korean man is doing. There you have it. Taiwan, China, that impending war is still on the table. See, they're the catch and bait. They're the ones that's putting all these things in place. So just wanted to share that video with y'all real quick. Let's look at this. Come on, man, these ridiculous ads. NATO prepares for its biggest military exercise since the Cold War and close to Russia. So NATO was out carrying out the biggest military exercises, joint military exercises that they've ever done since the Cold War. I know I'm probably spelling that wrong. Damn it. All right, forget it. I just want to look at Ecclesiastes 3 real quick. Because it's wartime. It's wartime. You know, this is why the Most High gave us this particular stipulation in Ecclesiastes 3. Everybody should know this by now about the different times and how we move in the spirit. Verse 8 of Ecclesiastes 3. It says, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. This one verse is so cold. Most High says a time to love and a time to hate. People talk about God doesn't hate and you guys shouldn't be, the ADL and the what's the mother cats, man? The Southern Poverty Law Center, labeling Jake's hate groups and all that. Well, at the end of the day, man, the Most High said it's a time that you gotta hate. That's why I always say, man, is the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. Trump was open saying how he hate Jakes, but he always played his cards. When he gets up out of there, let me pardon Lil Wayne and get Kodak Black out of jail because the niggas gonna love me when I get they little rappers out of jail. They're gonna love me as long as I give them a little bit of money. The stimulus started under him. It wasn't Biden. Biden just followed suit. He knew give niggas some money, stay out of war, be entertaining on TV. Everybody gonna give him a pass. But he'll come out there and talk about all these people coming from these ish-hole countries and talking about how bad Hispanics and blacks and Haitians are and all of that. At least he was saying he said it up front. I'd rather deal with that than slow Biden running around here, getting pulled off a stage because he can't even finish a damn speech. Did y'all see that? Hopefully y'all seen that, man. Just a recent speech Slow Biden was doing in Vietnam. I think it's a commemoration of the Vietnam War or something like that. He was just speaking last weekend, man. The dude just started rambling, went off on a whole tangent. They had to cut his mic because he's so damn lost. But at the end all be all, man, the Most High said it's a time to hate too. A time of war and a time of peace. So when we seeing these type of headlines, then we should know what time it is. NATO prepares for the biggest military exercises since the Cold War and close to Russia. And they're operating close to Russia. The upcoming Steadfast Defender NATO war drills set for early 2024 are expected to be the biggest military exercises in Europe since the end of the Cold War. The Financial Times is reporting Monday. At a moment, the war in Ukraine grows more and more unpredictable, given neither Russia nor the West have shown any signs of backing down. The Financial Times writes that NATO is preparing its biggest live joint command exercise since the Cold War next year, assembling more than 40,000 troops to practice how the alliance would attempt to repel Russian aggression against one of its members. So they're preparing for war against Russia. Starting in 2024, the biggest military exercises since the Cold War. I believe that's like in the 50s and in the 60s. Times are changing. 40,000 troops getting ready for war with Russia come 2024. Okay, so we know what time it is. Let's look at this. Flooding in Libya. I mean, we just seen there was flooding in China. Beijing I showed y'all the video last weekend. Flooded, cars underwater, people all over get jacked up. Now we're seeing here in Libya, massive flooding. Storm leaving 2,000 people feared dead. This is just off the cusp of Morocco having their earthquake, 6.8, last Friday. Over 2,000 now, the body count is. And you saying that the Most High ain't real? What? God ain't real? Hello? This stuff ain't happening in sequential orders like this, talking about, it's man-made global warming. If you don't knock it off, Psalms 29. And let's read 2 and 3. It says, give unto Yahweh the glory due unto his name. Man, when we see this stuff go on, man, you better say, man, that's Yahweh. That is Yahweh. Man, that is our Father, man. That's his works. That's what he does. It's not Mother Nature. It's not some damn global warming. It ain't because of cows farting in the air and all that other stuff. No, this is the works of the Lord. So quit trying to blame Hurricane Ida and Hurricane Hillary and all that. No. Give glory unto the Most High's name. It's like that dude, what's his name? Baby from Cash Money, when he had the viral interview with the Breakfast Club. If y'all know what I'm talking about, there was his brother's, I guess he's a CEO of a big rap label, for those who ain't aware. And I guess there was some talk about him going on the internet in the his radio station Power 105, or is it Power 105? No, Power 105 was out here. Whatever that radio station is, the Breakfast Club in New York. They had him in an interview a few years back. First thing he came in and said, "Man, y'all watch my name in your mouth. Put some respect on my name. I'm not with all the games. Y'all don't just talk my name like you want to." This the Most High said it first. Give unto Yahweh the glory due unto his name. That's putting respect on his name. Worship Yahweh in the beauty of holiness. Verse 3, the voice of Yahweh is upon the waters. The voice of Yahweh is upon the waters. That's the Most High moving in waters. That's his voice that's causing these floods. The power and the glory thundereth. The Most High Yahweh is upon many waters. So when these waters is assembling and moving, that's the Most High doing that. When we just seen that Burning Man concert or festival, and it said it got flooded out, and they told everybody shelter in place. That's the Most High shutting that crap down. This right here. See, Most High shut all that down. Told them Edomites, man, and them damn goofy heathens. 70,000 people assembling out there, man. Most High said, nope, no, you don't. No, you don't. We're not doing that. And sent them all on their damn way. Get up out of there. This is an exodus for you, all right. See? Flooding in Libya, that's the Most High doing this, man. It said 2,000 of fear dead. Prime Minister says, look at this. These are buildings, man, and the water is up to damn near halfway up the buildings. Streets are flooded from Storm Daniel. See that? They don't want to say it's the Most High. It's Daniel that did it. Mediterranean storm Daniel caused devastating floods in Libya that swept away entire neighborhoods and wrecked homes in multiple coastal towns in the east of the northern African nation. As many as 2,000 people were feared dead, one of the country's leaders said Monday. The destruction appeared greatest in Derna, a city formerly held by Islamic extremists, in the chaos that has gripped Libya for more than a decade, leaving it with crumbling and inadequate infrastructure. Libya remains divided between two rival administrations, one in the east and one in the west, which are backed by militias and foreign governments. So we see this. This is all the work of the Lord, man. See some more of the work of the Lord. Look at this. New mutant dengue outbreak in Bangladesh is the worst ever in the country, killing 600. And of course, they blame climate change. See, dengue fever, right? You familiar with this? Is coming from mosquitoes. Everybody knows about Bill Gates and DARPA. See the genetically modified mosquitoes? They're talking about that not happening. Hey, knock it off. A company just released 150,000 genetically modified mosquitoes. Bill Gates is on record here talking about malaria. He's letting out these GMO mosquitoes. If you watch this, it's 20 minutes. We ain't going to do that right now. And he let them out in the middle of his TED talk. And he was talking about, oh, what? Well, poor people shouldn't be the only ones that get bit and get affected. They're so quick. You know, he always got the fact checkers and the fake news coming out talking about it. It's not because of Bill Gates. Yeah, he is. He's been doing this stuff. They all saying he didn't do it. You know, he's covering his tracks early. But if y'all see this saw the video, he talks about all the stuff that he's been creating and drumming up, including GMO mosquitoes. But check this out, though. Let me see. Operation Dropkick. Operation Dropkick, huh? Let's look at this real quick. Let me see. Let me make sure they even telling the whole truth in this, because this is Wikipedia, but we'll see. I got another article from Harvard that did a study and did the investigation on this. But look at this. Operation Dropkick was conducted between April and November 1956 by the U.S. Army Chemical Corps to test the practicality of employing mosquitoes to carry on etymological warfare agent in different ways. The Chemical Corps released uninfected female mosquitoes into a residential area of Savannah, Georgia, whose residents had agreed to participate in the project and then estimated how many mosquitoes entered the house and bit people. Within a day, many reports of mosquitoes bites were received. 1958, Chemical Corps released a million mosquitoes in Avon Park, Florida. Within a day, many reports of mosquito bites were received. Slovakia. The test showed that mosquitoes could be spread by means of various devices. No, this is bull. That's why I don't mess with damn Wikipedia. No. They talking about the people. People agreed to this. No. Florida dengue fever outbreak leads back to CIA and Army experiments. Yeah, this is a little bit more like it. With little fanfare, July 13th, Florida officials released the findings of the Centers for Disease Control, CDC, our good friends at the CDC, at it again. Study conducted recently in Key West are revealing that about 10% or 1,000 people of the coastal town's population are infected with dengue fever virus. Oh, really? July 13th, release made little known mention of it. The CDC study was provoked by an earlier 2009 report that a woman in New York State who had returned from Florida Keys visit had contracted dengue fever. Within a few weeks of its initial report, 2 additional cases were discovered in the people who had returned from Key West. Over the next 3 months, 2009, an additional 26 cases were identified, all tied to visits to the town. Where's the one that did? See, this 2009. What they did in Avon Park, Florida, was a little bit earlier. I want to see. See, and they know hidden history. Here, let's look down here. Unknown to most Americans is that dengue fever has been the intense focus of U.S. Army and CIA biological warfare researchers for over 50 years. Ed Regis notes in his excellent history of Fort Detrick, The Biology of Doom, that as early as 1942, leading biochemists at the installation placed dengue fever on a long list for serious consideration as a possible weapon. In the early 50s, Fort Detrick, in partnership with the CIA, launched a multi-million-dollar research program under which dengue fever and several additional exotic diseases were studied for the use of an offensive biological warfare attacks, assumably because the virus is generally not lethal. Program planners viewed it primarily as an incapacitant. Reads one CIA Project Artichoke document, not all viruses have to be lethal. The objective includes those that act as short-term and long-term incapacitants. Several CIA documents, as well as the findings in 1975, Congressional Committee revealed that 3 sites in Florida, Key West, Panama City, and Avon Park, as well as 2 other locations in Central Florida, were used for experiments with mosquito-borne dengue fever and other biological substances. I mean, if you go on and continue on reading about this, man, to tell you that people died from them doing this. See this? Avon Park residents still living in the area say the experiments resulted in at least 6 or 7 deaths. All of them experimenting on Jace. Okay? On our people. Now, who's to say? Is this another form of biological warfare that they carried out on Bangladesh? Or is it natural? You know, they always talk about, oh, you're in these third world countries, maybe that's the reason why they got hit. I just want to make sure I'm still sharing. I ain't go all this way for nothing. So look at this. Bangladesh is battling its worst dengue outbreak on record. More than 600 people killed and 135,000 cases reported since April. WHO said Wednesday as one of its experts blamed the climate crisis and El Nino weather pattern for the driving surge. Isn't that interesting? Bangladesh, you know, clearly they're getting hit with an epidemic going on over there. Who's to blame? They're saying it's climate change. We know that the so-called white man has got no problem building and establishing biological warfare weapons, including mosquitoes. Bill Gates on record talking about it, you know. And if it is anything at the end of the day, the Bangladeshi people, the Elamites, man, they're enemies of Israel anyway, man. So the Most High is getting them one way or the other. But just food for thought to see how these people plot and plan on our people, right? Let me see something real quick. I just want to see how close was Bangladesh with India, because you know India is clearly in alignment with the BRICS nations, which has stood against America, right? Let's see if they oh, look at that. BRICS Development Bank admits UAE. Let me see. Just going on a little treasure hunt. BRICS Development Bank admits UAE, that's the United Arab Emirates, Bangladesh, and Uruguay as new members. Oh. So from the looks of it, Bangladesh is on board with joining the BRICS. What better way to go get them little sand niggas over there, man, to go hit them up with a biological warfare weapon for going against the great whore and the beast? Wouldn't that be interesting? Wouldn't that be interesting? Let's see here. Bangladesh in the BRICS bloc. New dynamics in the economic partnership. BRICS Development Bank. Oh, Bangladesh formally applies to join the BRICS. Oh, imagine that. So is it far beyond belief that maybe, you know, because they don't want to play nice with the great whore, with America and Babylon, that America and it says, well, guess what? You don't want to play with us? Here, let you play with the bugs. Who knows, man? Who knows? You know, never know what our enemy's up to. What we do know is, oh, he's up to something else here. What to know as the CDC recommends a new booster amid rising cases and hospitalizations. Well, if you don't know already, let's play it. Hold on, what's wrong with the sound here?
And hospitalizations here in the U.S. We see now.
I'm gonna let the white man say it. If I say it, they might do something. Fair use. CDC's on the move, man. They looking out for the people. They want to make sure that, you know, no further infections go on, man. You know, the thing is back on the loose. They just used the Emergency Authorization Act again to push forward this new BOO rooster shot. The rooster, right? The slow Biden said he, you know, remember he even, see, this is how you know he's a damn devil, man, because he went out there and said he just submitted a proposal for a budget for a new development of the vax. And, you know, so that meant it was a proposal. It was already approved. They already had the budget. 2 weeks later, it's rolling out under emergency authorization. And remember what happened the last time they rolled it out fast. Remember that warp speed? We need to get this out and get it in people. And emergency authorization restricts a lot of different rules. When they say it's an emergency, I mean, is it an emergency right now? Or are they saying it will be? Devil's in the details.
CDC now greenlighting those new COVID boosters from Pfizer and Moderna amid this rise in the number of cases and hospitalizations here in the U.S. The CDC now recommending that all Americans 6 months old and older receive the shot. They're not doing it in waves this time. It could be available as early as next week. We'll keep you posted. The boosters by Pfizer and Moderna target current Omicron variants, protecting against severe infection and death. They say you can get this COVID booster and the flu shot together.
Yay!
The CDC now greenlight.
All right, we can get them both together, man. Double whammy. Why not? Hey, good old thing, man. The CDC loves us, man. You know, where would we be without them? Get a double up, man. Why not? You know, a new one. They said. I mean, and notice, I got another article, man. Mossad willing, I'll bring it out. Mossad willing this weekend. They're censoring on various search engines when you're looking up information about what's going on with this thing we're talking about. Well, you get blocked. They block off certain information. You can't even find out. You know, as information is being suppressed. We don't even know what the name of this, what the name of the new rooster is, and yeah, it's just it's a new one. Slow Biden said, and this one works. This one works. So I'm not gonna read too much into this, man, because you know how that goes. It's a sensitive thing. They're getting ready to start retooling up your conversation surrounding the topic. But I'm gonna leave y'all with this, man. Straight from the horse's mouth, man. Corporate Esau, listen to what he says about the state of the economy, how they feel about their workers, and what their ultimate goal is moving forward. This is blowing the trumpet. Not this. Let's get that.
I think the problem that we've had is that we have people decided they didn't really want to work so much anymore through COVID, and that has had a massive issue.
Let's see it. Tim Gurner, founder and CEO of the Gurner Group. Let's see who he is. Let's see who he is and what he controls. And this is coming from the horse's mouth. Tim Gurner is an Australian businessman. He's the founder of the Gurner Group. Gurner is known as a developer of luxury apartments in Australia. He has been involved with build-to-rent projects. He's been described by the Australian as an apartment wonderkind. So apparently he's obviously a businessman. He's a apartment developer. Heavy in the financial sector. And let's hear what his feelings are regarding the economy.
We have people decided they didn't really want to work so much anymore through COVID, and that has had a massive issue on productivity. You know, tradies have definitely pulled back on productivity. You know, they have been paid a lot to do not too much in the last few years, and we need to see that change. We need to see unemployment rise. Unemployment has to jump 40, 50%, in my view. We need to see pain in the economy. We need to remind people.
Oh, the empire strikes back. He says we need to see pain in the economy. Unemployment has to jump up to 40 to 50% in his view. Now, you think he's alone in his thinking? Or do you think there's think tanks of Edomite controllers, robber baron, land grabbing heathens that were mad that they had to pay employees to work from home, some of them quitting their jobs, starting their own businesses, doing whatever, people just leaving, the whole little mass exodus of people quitting their jobs and all that's over with. Because the stimulus money's gone, the crypto ain't the gamble on the crypto, that ain't cracking like it used to be. So things are slowing down. People got to start back paying their rent. You know, all the excuses of not being able to pay your car note, all that stuff is out the door now. So people are looking for jobs. People out there, a lot of people out there hurting right now. We just seen uh, in LA County alone, 40,000 eviction notices went out. Banks closing up, laying off, multiple businesses laying off. So here they go. That's why I said he's not alone in his thinking. There's multinational corporations all over the place with the same mind frame. And the ultimate goal is destroy the economy, destroy people's livelihoods, destroy lives and homes. And in the words of Slow Biden, so they can build back better. And y'all know what they're trying to rebuild. They're trying to rebuild. And we've talked about it a number of different times. Trying to rebuild under a new world order, new financial system, new religious structure, war, you know, the whole nine. So I'm gonna let him finish up. But this is what Esau's in his mind. Got to see pain in the economy, 40 to 50% unemployment. They want everything to collapse so that they can come scoop up everything that done faltered. They come in, buy it up, pennies on a dollar, slap everybody on a little universal basic income where you're limited on what goods and services you can buy, what you can eat, what you can't eat, you know, what you can drive, what you can't drive, what you can own, what you can't own. Full, complete control.
You know, they have been paid a lot to do not too much in the last few years, and we need to see that change. We need to see unemployment rise. Unemployment has to jump 40, 50%, in my view. We need to see pain in the economy. We need to remind people that they work for the employer, not the other way around. I mean, there's been a systematic change.
You need to get put back in your place, Negroes and Hispanics. You need to know who's master, who's boss, and who's the servant and the slave.
Where employees feel the employer is extremely lucky to have them, as opposed to the other way around. So it's a dynamic that has to change. We've got to kill that attitude, and that has to come through hurting the economy, which is what the whole global, you know, the world is trying to do. The governments around the world are trying to increase unemployment to get that to some sort of normality. And we're seeing it. I think every employer now is seeing it. I mean,
he said that's normal. The normality is servant master class. He said the whole world and all the governments is operating and trying to accomplish this. Says we're seeing third world countries collapsing. All these coups that's going on. You look at Argentina right now, man. They're operating at, I think, at like 114% inflation. Venezuela's done. America, I mean, just look at America, man. It's just getting worse and worse by the moment. Various guys like Haiti, forget about it. They're doing their job. They're doing what he's saying. It's just a slow process, but they're doing it. And as long as Jake's is, you know, listening to laws in California talking about how they want to make psychedelic drugs legal now, everybody's running around high. Now they're going to be on psychedelics really out of their mind. So they can go ahead on and slide in everything that they've been trying to operate and do. Distraction after distraction. They talking about they just found a 1,000-year-old mummy in Peru. Looks like it's about 2 feet tall. Of course, skinny, big head. I mean, but what happened to they're the same description, but they were 9 feet tall. I mean, come on. Let me let him finish.
And there is definitely massive layoffs going off. People might not be talking about it, but people are definitely laying people off, and we're starting to see less arrogance in the employment market, and that has to continue because that will cascade across the cost balance.
AG1 is foundational nutrition, science-driven.
There you go. So Esau says, man, the plan is, man, break them down. We want unemployment. We want them broke. We want them to know who's boss. And then we're going to build back better, man. We're going to have complete control, dominance over everybody. All right. That's what it is, man. Trump has been blown. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, man. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their feast, enjoying their Shabbat. Also, I permit. I'll be back with another DSTM. Also, I will in this Sabbath. And outside of that, man, you know what it is. Fear the Most High. Keep His commandments. And don't shoot the messenger. Shalom.